Good evening, David. Uh, the Winter Olympics was just wrapping up a couple weeks ago. I personally like the curling myself. Let me ask you a question. Which group is harder, more determined, has grit, and is just as fit as Olympic curlers? Sheet metal workers, and probably bowlers. But I kid the Olympic curlers. That was my favorite event to watch. Congratulations. You did it. Your 5 years of apprenticeship is completed. I'm here representing the management side of the JATC. The JATC is made up of management and labor. Your labor is your business representatives. Your management is owners and operators of companies. At this time, I'd like all the JATC management trustees please stand. As you can see, there's some great people out here that have accomplished a lot in their careers. And right now I'm wondering, why are they having me speak with all these great people? But not really. Well, maybe. Trustees, you can please sit down. But go up to these people and talk to them. Ask them how they got to where they are now. Find out what their stories is. People love to tell their stories and tell you how they got to where they are. And you might find that some of them started just like you. They went through an apprenticeship, graduated, and they've moved on. So now you're a journeyman. What's next? There's so many opportunities in this industry. There's an abundance of jobs that you could have. You could become a management at a company. You can continue to do air conditioning, general sheet metal. There's so many things you can do in the industry that your career ahead is going to be great. So what's your goal? It's important to have a goal. Set a goal for not only your career, but set a goal for your life. Every company has a mission statement, and every person should too. A mission statement is a formal summary of aims and values of a company, organization, or individual. Write a mission statement. Write it personally and write it for your career. Where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years from now? And you could look at it in 5 or 10 years and you could say, hey, this is where I'm at now. That was my goal. Did I make my goal? My goal when I first became a journeyman out of apprenticeship school was to be a foreman and then eventually a superintendent. And I did those, but along the way, I found out that also my goals changed. I became a BIM and CAD instructor. We used to call it CAD, we call it BIM now, detailer. And that job didn't exist when I graduated from apprenticeship. But later on it did exist, and that became one of my goals. I wanted to be a CAD detailer, and I did. I became one. I never thought I would teach at the JATC, where I'm a trustee now, but I did. I never thought I would be a full-time coordinator for the JATC, but I was. And I never thought I'd be working in the office. One of the main reasons I got into the trade is because I like working with my hands, I like building things. I never wanted to work in an office. I loved working in the field, on job sites, different job sites, the variety, the challenge, coordinating with the electricians and plumbers on where to run your ductwork. Of course, you got to coordinate with the sprinkler fitters who are never kind or easy to work with. But now I find that I love the challenge in the office. It's a completely different challenge, but it's a challenge, and I love it. It's exciting. But whatever you do, it's going to take a lot of work and dedication. I made some mistakes too, and you will also. As a 24-year-old foreman out running a job and a crew, I remember I was doing a 2-story building, and I'd missed some duct layouts going through a wall, and the wall was framed and drywalled already, and the duct had to go through the wall. So I had to go up to the framing superintendent there and say, hey, I got a problem. I didn't lay these openings out, you didn't put them in. He goes, well, it's a big issue. So I asked him, well, what kind of whiskey do you drink? He goes, oh, I like Johnny Walker. I said, I'll tell you what, You frame in those 2 openings for me, I'll bring you a fifth of Johnny Walker tomorrow. He said, okay, I'll do it. Well, by the time the job was done, I bought about a case of Johnny Walker. But, I did learn something. I learned always look ahead and always stay 2 steps ahead of that framer. I'll tell you that. But always improve yourself. Take journeyman classes. Journeyman classes, upgrade classes are free, and they'll improve your skill set and make you more valuable to your employer. Be a team player. Be a team player with your company and with your fellow sheet metal workers. I have a friend, Kyle. He's a union electrician. He's around 40 years old. He's a foreman. And he was telling me, we were standing around having we were having a couple beers. Actually, we were in a bar having a couple beers. And he told me this younger generation, they're never going to make it. They don't have the work ethic that we have. They're not as competent as we are. This trade, I'm worried about it. And I told him that's kind of funny because I was an apprentice in the early 80s, and the journeyman used to say the same thing to me. You guys will never make it. Your generation has no clue what they're doing. And I had a friend whose dad was an apprentice in the 50s. He said the older generation always told him they didn't know what they were doing. But we all made it through. Every generation seems to think that the generation before them is great because they're the ones that taught them and led the way. The generation they're in is great, of course, because they're part of it. They have a little bit of control of that. But they think the generation coming up, they're different, they're not going to make it. But it's not true. They're going to make it. The reason your generation will reach new heights is because you'll stand on the shoulders of generations before you, like I did and like people did before me. The future is in your hands, and I feel great about it. I'm really excited about you and your future and your careers. You're all going to have great careers here, but you got to work hard. So good luck in your careers. Work hard. Always expand your knowledge. Always try to learn more. Be honest, trustworthy, and you will go far in the trade and in your life in the world. Think about this. If a company wants to hire a foreman, who do they go to? They go to their best competent journeyman. If a company wants to hire a superintendent, where do they go? They go to their best competent foreman. So if you're working hard and you're doing a good job, you will advance in this industry. I lost my page, but anyway. Congratulations. This is your night to party. Success is not an event. Success happens. It's a process. Success is a process. You're not going to just like that and you're going to be successful unless you hit the lotto or something, but it's not likely. Success is a process. You got to work at it. Every day you got to work at it. You got to be consistent. But good luck. You're going to have great careers, and good night.